Yeah, so when I say teach 2S LGBTQI plus in school, I am simply advocating that all students deserve a safe and supportive learning environment, and that this effort expands the existing curriculum so that it
What's up,
has a
everybody?
language that is
Welcome back to
inclusive and
Ramblings of a Mad Guy. We are just trolling random TikTok debates now. I think we found a good one. We've got someone saying that women don't need men. I think it's pretty obvious why they do, but we'll see if we can get some reason through. In the meantime, let's listen to what they're
I mean,
talking about.
The definition of woman that I use is a person who is an adult that either denotes or aligns with characteristics typically assigned to the female sex.
gotcha.
Why are you asking?
Well, I'm just curious. Like, if I presented to you a Venn diagram, do you know what a Venn diagram is?
Answer the question. Why are you asking?
Well, if I presented to you a Venn diagram, one says man, the other says woman, and obviously you have the middle. Is there anything you could put on the man and woman side that you could not put in the middle? Like, because a
So
woman's just a social performance.
you're going a transphobic point of view.
I'm not
That's what you're
transphobic.
doing. No, you are.
I watch Blair White.
Because that what I don't care what the fuck you've watched. Right?
Blair
when you're using
White.
talking points,
I watch Blair White, Caitlyn Jenner, Buck Angel. These are transgender people, so
they're
I'm not transphobic.
transphobic. Anyways, so here's the thing, right?
Blair
So
White is
specifically,
transphobic.
what you're talking about
She's
is talking
trans.
points like the necessary
She's afraid of herself.
qualities that are required within men and women
Maybe.
to make
That's
them
possible.
men and
Actually,
women. However, I'm gonna
this
go
is an
ahead
interesting argument. In order to be trans, you might have to be afraid of yourself in order to go through all the surgery and stuff like that. Like, you clearly are afraid of what you were born, what body you were born into. So maybe all trans people are transphobic in a way. You get me? You get me? You get me, fam. Interesting stuff. Don't turn out the light. Oh my god.
What are the necessary conditions?
Well, you're being an adult human female. That's kind of
That's not a necessary condition.
to be a woman.
I'm
So,
saying,
like-
what are the necessary conditions for one to be a woman? Necessary meaning it needs to happen. It can't be met with any exception. What are they?
Be an adult human female. That's
Okay, cool.
that's
What's the definition of female?
someone who produces large gametes regardless of functionality, Mullerian pathway, blah blah blah.
Okay,
Come
cool,
on, we
cool,
know
cool, cool,
what
cool, cool.
females.
Right. And do you think that definitions are prescriptive or descriptive?
I think. Well, look, I don't use $10 words as much
No,
as you
answer
do,
my
but
question. Do you think that definitions are prescriptive or descriptive?
I don't know. I'll flip a coin and say descriptive.
It's descriptive specifically, right? So that means that definitions are used as a blueprint of what is typical.
Then why did you ask the question?
That needs to be met in order for one to be a woman. Necessary meaning it needs to happen. It can't be met with any exception. You decided to appeal to the overall definition of an adult human female, which is, by the way, an appeal to a definition fallacy. But we're just going to go ahead and ignore that. Shut up and stop it. Stop.
You're loud.
I'm still speaking. No, your sentence isn't allowed to touch mine. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, so since you're going to go ahead and use that definition, I'll go ahead and let you know that individuals that are born with vaginal agenesis are not able to be of or denoting the sex that can pertain to having large gametes that can reproduce and or reproduce children. The reasoning behind that is because they don't have a vagina to do said process of producing large gametes, right? The reason why we don't appeal to definitions is because we are inherently causing harm to the minority, right? That is a fucking problem. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, what are the necessary conditions for one to be a woman? Necessary meaning it needs to happen and can't be met with any exception. Quickly now.
What's the definition of femicide?
Are you gonna fucking answer my question?
I won't. I refuse to.
Okay, then you may drop because I don't wish to engage or have any engagement with a fucking transphobe.
Mind you, this was entirely like his decision to go down this path.
Yep.
Right? Like, this was completely not even at all what the conversation was about, not even what my board or background is about, right? This was totally his choice to be.
You can't define woman. Come on, you don't even know.
I gave you my definition of woman, right?
Oh, I can define woman, right? I can use the exact same definition that you're gonna do, an adult human female, right? Transgender people still apply to that definition regardless, because they can align towards the female sex. right? But that's a trans exclusionary topic point specifically that talks about the only necessary
I
condition.
love the words. They get so angry, then they accuse the other person of being angry when he's just asking pretty simple questions. Trans exclusionary. This guy, he dropped, he's like, I don't use $10 words like you guys, and it's true. They just like to use big words to confuse people. That's TikTok debates in a nutshell. You should check out my recent video on that if you're interested.
That if you're going to try to combat a transgender person on a talking point, you better be well researched on the topic points that you're fucking talking about, because I will tear you the fuck apart.
Tough guy.
Also,
We got a
Daniel,
tough
I
guy
just
in
want
the
you
chat.
to be aware that definition that I provided, I made up myself.
Okay.
No,
and-
no, I'm not shocked by that. I think the TRA community tends to make up a lot of things. You made it up. Okay, I get that. Like,
Do you
the
think
different-
I'm a TRA?
Well, yeah, I think you're a TRA. You're no different from the people who did the John Hopkins University redefinition of lesbian, saying it's non-man loving non-man. How dehumanizing is that? I don't know what this Gen
Are
Z
you
feminism is.
are you a non-man?
No, I'm a man.
Okay, then why are you worried about what non-men think and feel about the term lesbian being redefined?
Look, I have an older sister who was born in the '80s. She's an old school lesbian. The whole
Uh-oh, friend. That's tokenizing. Let's not tokenize.
I'm bringing up the only lesbian I knew.
Yeah,
mean,
that's
what am I supposed to
that's
do?
literally tokenization, my friend.
Well, I can only speak from my experience. I mean, you can call it
Right,
tokenizing,
and
but
your
it's a fact.
experience has nothing to do with being a non-man, correct?
God.
I'm a man. I don't. This is weird.
Right. So then your personal experience is irrelevant here because you are not a non-man. You are a man. So what you think and feel about what people being upset about redefining the word lesbian is irrelevant in this conversation.
I only addressed it because there's a lot of women-centered prompts here, and I'm like, well, how can you be woman-centered when you can't define the word? If I can be one of you by putting on a dress and saying I'm a woman, I mean, how much?
Do you think all
What's the
women
deal?
wear
That's
dresses?
gender expression. That's not gender.
Wait, hold on. Do you think all women wear
I can
dresses?
become one of you. I can become one of you and you'll
Daniel, Daniel,
No,
do
you
you
can't.
think that all women wear dresses?
Who cares if all women wear dresses? You see how like what they do is they vastly generalize, which they accuse transphobes of doing. Oh, you're generalizing all trans people, but it's like no, you're generalizing all women when you say that. Do you think that all women wear dresses? Well, no, of course not. I mean, we all know tomboys and stuff like that, but that's just a non sequitur. That has nothing to do with the question of trans people or trans rights or
Higher that some people in this demographic wear, that this is somehow going to include them in the demographic. Gender is an innate sense of self, right? Gender expression is how you choose to express that innate sense of self, and that has a lot to do with like hair.
Womanhood's an expression. Manhood's an expression. That's all it is.
What do you mean it's an expression?
Well, you said it's an expression. What's one expression that a man and a woman cannot do? Like, you guys realize your whole ideology relies on sexist stereotypes.
No, it doesn't.
yeah, it does.
Quite literally,
cooked.
you're the one saying.
No, it doesn't.
Wait, hold on, because you're literally the person who's been relying on stereotypes by saying a man in a dress is a woman. That is a stereotype that women wear dresses.
Not only that, but he's also appealing to an adult human female, right? Which would inherently mean that a woman who's able to bear children is what a woman is. That's also a stereotype.
No, it's not what I'm doing. It's literally not.
Yes, it is.
A woman, an adult human female can wear a pantsuit. They can wear short shorts. They can wear Carhartts. They're still adult human female.
Do you think all women experience womanhood the same way?
Of course not. But I think
Right.
there's
So you have the understanding that womanhood is experienced in different forms of ways. So who are you to say that one's womanhood is actually an inaccurate experience of womanhood when you yourself are a fucking man?
That's so ironic. I want to know what's so. I think that's ironic. That's an ironic comment coming from you.
Oh, it's ironic coming from me.
Yes, because we're genetically the same. Me and you.
I'm not genetically
we're
anything like
genetically
you.
the same.
Oh, honey, I'm not genetically anything like you. In fact, before starting HRT, I had cisgender levels of estrogen and testosterone of a woman. Actually, my testosterone levels were 12.
Damn.
Yeah,
I might have higher testosterone than you did.
before starting HRT. So we don't
that
have the
makes
same
sense.
genetic components at all. I can guarantee that. In fact, I have an understanding, and my doctor has an understanding, that I may be intersex and my sex was chosen for me before birth.
There we go. Trans people claiming to have DSD. That's the latest trend. All of a
What do you
sudden, all of
mean?
them have DSD.
What are
I
you
never
talking
claimed
about?
that I did. I said I have the understanding that there's a possibility of it because I was diagnosed with fucking lupus, which is predominantly within female-born individuals. It can be in male-born individuals, but it usually doesn't show up until in their senior years of being 60 to 70 years old. But I was diagnosed with it when I was fucking 12. That's a red flag, my guy.
Okay, that's
Welcome
fine. I'm
everybody.
not here.
Just to be clear, I'm gonna be debating. Pretty much, I'm gonna try to keep it to the women don't need men line topic here that they're requesting debates from. Hopefully, they accept me up sometime soon. This is basically like a trans panel, so I don't know what route they're gonna take this down, but I mean, it seems self-evidently obvious that women need men at the very least to be born, right? And then there's a bunch of other stuff to fight wars and whatever. But at least to be born, you need a man and a woman, as far as I know. So unless they have some kind of new information on that topic, this should be a pretty easy W. But we'll see.
I haven't lied about anything.
I'm not
Okay,
talking
hold
about
on.
you. I'm talking about the
No,
host.
Daniel, hold on.
These people think that
Have
they're
you
doing
ever?
you a world.
No, Daniel, shut up. Have you ever done anything in regards to advocate for transgender people, specifically for gender affirming care for those who that cannot afford gender affirming care? Yes or no?
No, I haven't. I mean, look,
Okay.
look,
Yeah, you
won't let
haven't.
me-
You
won't
know
let me
who
talk,
has?
bro.
You know who has? Me.
I had a
Shut the fuck up.
transgender commander in the military, a sergeant who was a.
Transgender people
female
aren't
to-
allowed in the military right now. What the fuck are
They
you
were.
talking about?
I'm talking back when I was in. I had a female to male transgender sergeant,
I
and I never
don't
was
care
dealing with
about
her.
your tokenization. Shut up.
I've been around trans
You
people my
are-
whole life. I
Tokenization.
accept them as they are.
You
I
are
respect
being
their.
tokenizing.
I respect their personal pronouns. However, I think that this is not doing you a world of good. This
I
new.
don't. I personally don't care. Hush.
I think
See
it's
how
very
patronizing they are?
disingenuous of you to try and paint yourself as someone who is like a friend to transgender people, right? Especially saying that me as the host, that I am not a friend to transgender people, but you are, I think is fucking hilarious. Like, that is the silliest shit that I have heard all day, and I've engaged with some
Okay.
pretty silly gooses today.
Appeal to your own emotions.
Your
I mean,
advocacy does nothing for them. It brings heat to their community. It brings heat to LGBT people, B people like myself.
What
It does
exactly
not
is
help
my
them.
advocacy?
Your advocacy is, well, you ignite attitudes. You incite attitudes amongst the public. You incite attitudes and ideas
they
that
ever gonna
people
get me up here?
generally don't. Even regular transgender people living every day don't want. If you actually talk.
So incitement of ideas is what you've got? You think my advocacy is the incitement of ideas?
I think all the minorities you claim that you want to help, you're probably doing more harm than good to them. That's what I think.
I would like you to substantiate that.
Well, that would take a lot of time, and
You can pick one and substantiate it.
well, like I said, transgender people. I don't think the push for more. Well, like California state law. California state law. That's why the whole Tish Hyman thing. You can look that up, by the way.
Okay, Daniel, I don't know what you're doing, right? I have no idea why you're like. I don't. It sounds like you're coloring on a piece of paper, right? And you don't like have your hand on it to hold it down. Can you please either find somewhere else to be or stop doing that so that we can engage?
Well, I'm not in front of my computer, so I can't like readily look up things right now. I'm on a mobile phone.
Yeah,
In an office.
that's not my issue. My issue is the constant like noises
then
of
drop
paper
him. Who
that I'm
cares? Just
hearing.
drop him if you don't like
I'm in
the
an
fact that he's
office.
scribbling.
I'm in an office right now. What? Okay, you know what?
All right, maybe
I
they
mean,
get me
that
now.
works too.
Maybe they get me now. Come on.
Just so we're all
Come on,
aware,
come on,
he
come on,
ran.
come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Honestly,
ran. Get me up there.
I actually heard what you were saying. Like, I can hear scribbling on something. I just didn't know what it was.
I'm sorry that I lost my temper. I shouldn't have. But like that shit irritated me.
Yeah, no, don't apologize. You have nothing to apologize for.
All right, then we get another guy.
Can I have your name, age, and pronouns?
Yeah, I'm 25. My name, you could just use my username.
Okay. And what are your pronouns?
Yeah, I'm a man.
Okay, that doesn't tell me your pronouns, friend.
Yeah,
It clearly
I don't
does.
subscribe to that bullshit.
Okay,
Yes,
that is totally fine. Tell you
go
what,
off,
I
King.
will respect you not providing me your pronouns. However, for the remainder of this conversation, you are not going to use a pronoun. And if you do,
Look how they
I
tyrannize
am
the
going to
conversation.
play an
It's
incorrect buzzer.
crazy.
So let me pull that up. All right, my friend. So this is what you're going to hear if you use a pronoun. Okay?
He didn't say he doesn't
So, I'll allow
ascribe
you
to
to continue.
pronouns in general, obviously. He doesn't ascribe to being forced to provide his pronouns to you.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so I don't like faggots. They should all kill
Yeah,
themselves.
so unfortunately you did use a pronoun, so I'm gonna need you to try
Faggot
again.
is a pronoun?
Yep, so again, I'm gonna need you to I know you're trying to slur, right? Because all you want to do
What a
is get
beast.
kicked. I'm not
Faggot is a
kicking you.
pronoun?
I'm not gonna kick you.
Faggot?
Right?
Of course you're not.
You wanted to engage
This
in
is crazy.
conversation. You agreed to the terms.
Just for anyone just
So
joining,
I'm
they
not-
tried to force him to use his pronouns, and he's like, I don't subscribe to that bullshit. And they're like, well, we're going to patronize you and play a buzzer sound every time you use a pronoun. And then he immediately just said the F slur. I would say it. I'm not against it, but I don't know what the rules are on YouTube and streaming and stuff like that, so I don't want to get shadow banned. But, I mean, what a beast.
Faggot, 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 nigger, 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 hail Hitler. Hail Hitler.
All right, so he's just a troll. Just
The
kind of a
craziest part is
rage-baiting
that's
troll.
a black person.
There's no one even black up here either.
Okay, now is it my turn?
It's just insane.
Genuinely. I have guest request. Yeah, you know what? We'll keep it going. We got 60 people in here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and let multiple people up. Please stay muted until I address you. If you unmute before I address you, you'll be dropped from the panel. Can I have your name, age, and pronouns, please?
Hi, yeah, my name is Reese. I'm 26 years old.
Alright, Reese, can I have
you
your
know,
name, age,
my
and pronouns, please?
pronouns are he, him, but
Hi, yeah,
I
my
don't
name is Reese.
also
I'm 26
typically
years old.
care about that. Like, you can call me whatever
you
you
know,
want.
My pronouns are he,
sounds
him,
good.
but
Which
I don't
topic did you want to
also
talk about?
typically
I was interested in
care
the
about that. Like,
third
you can call
topic,
me
women
whatever you
don't
want,
need
but-
men.
Okay, sounds good.
Sure.
Which topic
My
did you
stance
want
is
to talk
that I
about?
don't believe there's anything
I
that
was
women
interested in
require
the
men to
third
provide us
topic,
that we
women
cannot
don't
get
need
ourselves in
men.
some way, shape,
Sure.
or form.
My stance
Okay.
is that I don't believe there's anything
So my
that
argument
women
is just,
require men
I mean,
to
there's probably a
provide us that we
couple
cannot get
angles we could
ourselves
go
in
down,
some
but
way,
to
shape, or
start, I
form.
would just say
Okay.
it seems self-evident that
So my
women need
argument is
men,
just-
at
I
least
mean,
for the
there's
very
probably a
purpose
couple
of
angles we could
being
go down, but to start,
conceived.
I would just
So how
say
do you respond to
It
that?
seems self-evident
Yeah,
that
so
women
I
need
don't
men, at
view
least for the
reproduction
very
as a
purpose
need
of
simply
being,
because I don't believe that there's a
conceived.
moral
So
or
how do you
ethical
respond to that?
imperative to
Yeah, so I
repopulate.
don't view
But even if I
reproduction as a
did grant
need simply
reproduction,
because I
I
don't
would
believe
simply
that there's
say
a
that
moral
all
or
we need
ethical
for
imperative to
reproduction is a
repopulate.
person who can
But
produce
even
small
if I did
gametes,
grant
a person
reproduction,
who can produce large gametes, and a person who can gestate a pregnancy. And non-binary people and trans women are generally capable of providing the small gametes.
Okay, interesting. So at least on the first point of why of that reproduction is not a necessity for women, isn't it the case that if there were no reproduction, there would be no more women in the future?
Sure, at some point.
And so how is that not a need? Or I guess how are you defining need? Because it seems like a need is something that someone needs at least to, you know, survive or to exist or something like that. Like, for instance, humans need air. So if women need to exist, then don't they need men to produce them?
Wait, I never made the claim that women need to exist, right? That would fall under the fact that I don't believe that the continued population is necessary.
Okay, so you're basically so are you what are they, an anti-natalist? Like it would be better if people did not exist, essentially?
I think that the harm humans have introduced to the planet is significant, and I don't have any issues with the race being eradicated as a whole.
Okay, so
I
then
do want to specify, though, that when
Yeah.
I say the race being eradicated, this would be like a general dying off, not a forced depopulation.
Well, what would be well, you said that the reason that you don't mind if the human race is eradicated is because they cause harm to the environment or the earth or something like that. So why wouldn't you advocate for a forced depopulation, because that would reduce harm in your view?
Well, no, I never said that it would reduce harm. I just think that the impacts that humans have had is substantial and cannot be argued against, and that it would not be a bad thing if we no longer populated the Earth.
Okay, so it'd be neutral at least.
Yeah, I'm not advocating for the active eradication or forced depopulation. It's just simply I don't think that there is a moral imperative for us to continue the human race.
Okay, well that's an interesting point. So where do you get your moral imperatives from? Like where's your morality stem from in that regard?
I haven't really examined that. Like I would say that my stances are generally based in harm reduction.
But you realize like you are the one that has to decide what harm is, right? So like if you decide that harm to the planet is more important than harm to the human race, or at least on the same level, that's just your kind of opinion of what harm is and what would be good and bad, right?
I don't know that I would necessarily fully agree with that.
Okay, well, where does it come from if not your own introspection or opinion or experience?
It would be on the basis of providing the most utility and reducing harm. So it really would come from a harm reduction standpoint. But I don't think that there's like absolutes. I don't think there's moral absolutes, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't really make sense, because if there are no moral absolutes, in other words, no objective morality, then morality is by definition subjective, no?
Wait, so I would say that it can be subjective, definitely. Because when I say, if we were to say objectively that killing is wrong, right, but then we take away, or we look at cases in which killing happened because it was an act of self-defense, would we still say that that was wrong? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. But my moral paradigm is an objectivist one. So that means there can be right and wrong. But if your morality is a subjectivist one, in other words, it comes from introspection or even the subjective opinions of multiple people combined, then really all it is preference. There's no moral imperatives on people. If your morality says one thing and mine says another, and the source of our moralities is just our opinions, then they cancel each other out.
Well, yeah, it's like claims made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
No, that's not necessarily true.
What do you mean?
Well, lots of claims are made without evidence that can't be dismissed without evidence. For instance,
Well,
like the fact that the laws of logic
exist. If you can't ground
exist.
it in something, right? So, like, for example, if I make a claim and I can't ground it in anything substantial that would actually, like, be able to back that up, then it can be dismissed without requiring evidence to back that up.
Okay, that's fair. So then when you say that, women don't need men or something like that, and if you can't provide a grounds to back that up, then it can be dismissed without any grounds, right?
Yeah, but mine would be a negative stance, right? Because I'm saying that there isn't anything that women require men to provide us that we cannot get ourselves in some way, shape, or form. So then the person on the opposite end of that argument would have to prove, they would have to make a positive claim and be able to substantiate how women do need men.
But you realize that women don't need men is a positive claim, right?
No, so my stance again is that there's nothing that we require men to provide us that we cannot get ourselves. Right? That's the topic, but that's not the claim. The stance that I hold, the claim that I am making, is a negative one.
So, sorry, could you say what that claim is again?
Yeah, my claim would be my stance, which is that I don't believe there's anything that women need men to provide us that we cannot get ourselves in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, so that's just a rephrasing of the positive claim that women can provide everything they need for themselves. You're just putting a negative word in there and saying it's a negative claim, but that's not true. Do you see that?
So it would be a negative claim, right? Because if you're saying that there is something that is necessary, that would be the positive claim.
Okay, but that's two different. Okay. So with regard to this claim, is it different saying women don't need men than saying women can survive or, get everything they need without men?
Yes, I do believe that women can survive without the input of men.
Right. So that would be your positive claim, which you would need grounding for.
Yeah, that's, again, it's not what I stated, right? I'm not making the positive assertion here. You would be.
Well, I'm just questioning your view and what the grounding for your view is. So I haven't really made it. I mean, maybe I have somewhere implicitly, but I'm just saying if you have no grounding for your morality, or your grounding for your morality is purely subjective, which it sounds like it is, unless you have something else, then it's canceled out by any other subjective morality, which, just counters yours or is the opposite of yours. So why would your view, why should that view be enforced over anyone else's purely preferential view?
Did I make an assertion that it should be?
I mean, that's the implicit understanding of any debate. I mean, when you say women don't need men, you're saying, I believe it should be the case that the world operates this way, right? Or am I wrong?
No, that would be incorrect. So
Okay.
women don't need men is a conversation starter, and then that's when I give my stance. And then people who disagree with my stance because they believe that women do need men, then they provide me what their argument is that women need men for.
Okay. All right. So then we can get back to my argument then, I guess, which is for procreation. So you said that women, or like you're saying that like trans women could provide the sperm, or what is the word you use? I'm not very scientific. I'm not, I don't have a science mind. So if you could repeat what the words you.
I think you're much more scientifically inclined than you're leading on here.
Okay.
But I will repeat it. Right?
Yeah.
We simply need a person who can produce small gametes, a person who can produce large gametes, and a person who can gestate a pregnancy.
Gotcha.
Non-binary people and trans women would typically be able to produce the small gametes.
They would be able to produce a spawn gamete, but wouldn't they have to be born at least male to be able to do that, even if they transitioned afterwards?
Yeah, so the production of small gametes would be sex dependent.
Okay,
not
so
gender dependent.
So then it's fair to say that women do need males at some point, even if they transition later.
Sure.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, yeah, I guess I was just getting clarity on your take. It seems a little misleading to say that women don't need men when they clearly do need males, but I understand that you draw a distinction between men and males. I think it's kind of an arbitrary distinction, but fair enough.
I don't think it's arbitrary, friend. Like, a person's sex and their gender are very different.
Okay. I understand that from your view. Obviously, my view differs, but I don't know if you want to get into that. But
Kiza, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to talk on a couple things real quick.
Yeah, go for
So,
it.
in regards to like procreation specifically, when you go down a line of saying that procreation is a need, you would be arguably going down a very slippery slope of being for rape culture specifically. Also, on the aspect of procreation being a need, right? Those who can reproduce, they've met their purpose in life, and so thus forth they would no longer have a purpose any longer, and so there would be no need for them to live any longer. And then also individuals who cannot procreate, who are infertile, which is like the ability of not being able to conceive just because they were born that way, would serve no purpose. So should we also unalive them as well? There's a lot of problems with making a claim that procreation is a need.
No, because I never said it was the only need or even the primary need, just that it is a necessary condition for existence. So
but
if
your stance specifically is talking about how women need men specifically for procreation because procreation is a need, right?
Yes, but it's not the number one need.
I gave you an argument why that's harmful.
No, but your argument was assuming that I was saying that procreation is our only need or our procreation is the primary need that we have. I'm just saying it's a need. Therefore, women need it.
I told you specifically that if you view procreation as a need, you are going down a slippery slope of saying individuals who do not procreate should unalive because they serve no purpose. Individuals who do procreate no longer serve a purpose, so they should also be unalive.
No,
Stop interrupting me. And individuals who are fertile, who can procreate, who don't want to procreate, should have forced procreation on them, which is great.
Yeah.
You'd be for all three of these points.
No, I wouldn't. I was trying to explain that. I wouldn't be for any of those points or positions because that slippery slope would only apply to me if I was saying that procreation was our top need or our only need. But if I acknowledge that
it's a need,
yes,
it would be a want.
No, not a want. I'm saying if you're
No,
all
it would
those.
be a want,
Can I
right? Because
explain?
for something to be a need, it's required in life. If we no longer have access to it, we will cease to exist. A want is something that
Yes,
we can acquire in life, but we can live without it if we don't have it.
we would
So it's
cease.
a want, not a need.
I'm saying if anything is a need, then to exist is a need, and to exist we need procreation.
I don't think existing is a need at all.
Okay, well then we fundamentally disagree. And I would just ask you the same question: where do you get that from? Is that your own introspection, or is
That's
that
based
a
off of the studies
preference?
that we have the understanding of the environmental damage that we've caused to the earth specifically. But if you really want to go down this line, I don't care if procreation continues or doesn't continue at any given rate in time, like within the near future. The earth is going to be a desolate wasteland where human beings aren't going to be able to live on it anyway. So what do I fucking care about their existence?
Right. So if you don't value human existence, then there are no needs, really. So I'm just saying if there are needs, then human existence is one of them. So do you disagree with that, or?
I don't think human existence is a need. It's a want. We selfishly want to exist because we have the selfish desire of wanting to live. That's not a need, right? Can you name one beneficial aspect that we as human beings provide to the earth by living on it?
Yes, we exhibit dominion and we glorify God by our existence. So
How is that providing a benefit to the earth?
it's providing a benefit to the universe and to our souls
That's
and to
not what
God.
I asked you. I asked you to provide me a benefit.
A
That
be-
if human beings, stop interrupting me, provide me a benefit to the earth for human beings to still live on it, where if humans no longer lived on it, the earth would cease to rotate on its axis.
oh, I don't think there's anything like that. No.
Exactly, because it's not a need, it's a want. Thank you for conceding.
Well, I didn't concede anything because you asked me for a
You walk
benefit.
straight into the wall. You might need a tissue to wipe that nose for how bloody it was, but you walk straight into that wall.
Okay, I'm not sure how that applies to this example.
Because you have an understanding that that is a want and not a need.
Okay, you can define.
If there's no benefit that human beings provide to the earth to keep it
There
on
is.
its axis rotation, that if we were no longer living on this planet, right? We're no longer living on this planet, that it would cease to exist at that point. If you cannot provide a benefit, then that goes ahead and proves the fact that human beings are in need. I will say at one point in our lives, at one point in history, human beings did provide a benefit. But I will say that we squandered it because we overtook our resources and manipulated it and used it, and we've caused too much damage to the earth now to reverse what we've done.
Okay.
To where now we provide no benefit but harm.
Okay, and so then I would just ask the same question, which is how are you deciding what is benefit and what is harm? So, because I would describe a benefit to the earth as the simple beauty of humanity, our loving nature.
Simple beauty of humanity. Okay,
Yeah.
so you think it's beautiful that we waste toxins on the land, that we are a massive expansive reason for why animals are going extinct fast, which is killing our population, by the way, or the massive deforestation that is happening from over reproducing of buildings and architecture and whatnot. Or how about the fact of the concept of we should reproduce more children to make more products, to sell more products, to buy more products, to reproduce children, to sell more products, buy more products, and so on, so forth. That completely continues the cycle where we are mass overproducing products that we don't technically need, where people are taking the products that are expired and we send it to other countries to demolish and destroy, that is continuously destroying our economy, our ecosystem. Specifically, global global warming is specifically happening because we don't know how to take care of the waste that we continuously continue to make. All we do is destroy it and bury it in the earth or burn it for it to go into the atmosphere, and it still damages things. So please, again, provide to me how that's not a fucking how that's not harmful.
That is, all those things you mentioned are harmful, but we also do good things. So that's what I was talking about.
Okay, the good things don't outweigh those bad things.
Oh, great, perfect. So how do you decide that?
Because we are causing damage to the earth to the point where we actually have predictations and proof that shows that if we continue down this route, the earth will be a desolate wasteland where no one will be able to live on it, and it doesn't matter if humanity continues or not. We will be inexistent.
Regardless.
Right. So and I'm just asking the question of, so how do you ascribe, or from where do you ascribe more value to, say, some future existence of the world where there are no people because we kill ourselves off, which actually you wouldn't have a problem with, versus the current benefit of humanity, the love that we share for each other, families, communities,
so
all
where
that
you're
stuff.
contradicting, because you're claiming that humanity is existence needs to happen. If you think it needs to happen, then we need to be able to fucking fix these problems because it's harmful. But you're refusing to see it as a harm, which is eventually going to make humanity not exist. So you don't actually care about humanity continuing on or not.
No, I do. I'm saying how do you decide what is harm and what
like
isn't
this
harm?
entire conversation,
Yeah.
right, is irrelevant to the argument that you and I were discussing. My stance is that there's nothing that men require or that women require men to provide us that we cannot get ourselves in some way, shape, or form. Do you disagree with that?
No, I thought we agreed that maybe it's the case that women don't need men the way you're defining men, but that women do need males for the continued existence of the human race. And then we got into the argument from Kiza here, which thank you for presenting your position. Yeah, that's why we got to this. So, I mean, if it's irrelevant, that's not really on me. You know, that's where the conversation went.
Yeah, I know that Kiza was engaging with you, and I'm fine with that. But I do have other people that have been waiting patiently. So for the conversation to be about something that's not even related to what's on my background,
I agree.
Like to address the other people first.
Well, that's great. I'll just leave with. I mean, you can address anybody else. I'll just leave with the fact that you at least concede that women do need males. Is that fair?
Yes,
Okay.
That's why
All
I
right.
stated
Sounds good.
not males.
Gotcha. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you.
Yep, no problem.
Pretty easy concession there. That debate was just as easy as I thought it would be. We got kind of a rage-baited transgender person to go off on some anti-natalist tangent about how humanity is actually bad for society and bad for the culture and things like that. Or no, for the earth. And it's like they value the earth more than they value people, which are a product of the earth and part of the earth. And when you ask the question why, they have no answer. They just repeat and go in circles and circles and circles about why. Well, they don't have a why. They claim a fact and then say that somehow produces an ought. Appreciate you, Ron, or Mighty Sarlacc. Wow, this debater's being bad faith. That's true. Very bad faith. Let's see if we can find another panel, which is... I mean, bad faith arguments we're expecting to find on TikTok for sure. But maybe someone that has a more nuanced view, because it's like that was kind of a useless prompt. Women don't need men, but they do need males. Okay, fair enough. So, but I hate arguing like the biology and stuff, because then people assert that they know about biology in these like intricate details. Like, well, what about intersex people? But what about intersex people? And you go like, well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I'm guessing you're not either. But anyway, let's see what this one's about. It ended. I'm looking for an abortion debate. It looks like there aren't any today. Although I probably could have asked them about abortion. Fair enough. Whatever. Let's see. Race debates I'm not really interested in. There's even as much slop as TikTok usually is, it's even more slop today. Okay. Let's see what this guy's up to.
And they're also all rich and also very
Okay, totally fair.
They're also all homogenous. So those are all their factors aside.
Sorry, we lost you for a sec. Could you?
Oh, am I back?
We missed the first half. Yeah, you're back now.
Yeah, I would love to live in a secular humanist society, and that's because they're all happy. They have very happy, very low depression rates, and that's also partially just because they're all super rich. They're also super homogenous. But secular humanism probably has a role to play there. The problem is they're just not going to sustain themselves. Like Sweden, I believe it's Sweden. There is a Nordic country that...
I mean, I think I'm just going to agree with this guy.
Yeah, Sweden and Finland. I think both of them.
And there's a lot of people on that panel, so would like to find something else. liberal crash out. This could be fun.
Charge of stuff in the school system.
Nah, too many people. Too many people. Debate a vegan. We could get into that again. We already did that though with this exact same channel. So maybe I'll see if they're doing anything. But
on your browser. But if you go to it, there's a bunch of documentaries
they're
on a
always
lot of
talking
these
about these
topics you've
documentaries.
mentioned.
Oh my God, Satan, you are.
I never said God was Satan, dude. That's stupid to say something like that.
I hate this one. I hate this.
That's
Yes, you
really
did.
dangerous to say that.
Oh, yeah, I think it's.
That's stupid.
I would definitely recommend.
The equivocation over terms, God is Satan, that type of stuff is stupid. We got Parker in the chat. Let's see what he's up to. I hate the Trump debates too. They don't really do nothing. I know. We got to set up the Mad Guy lobby. What's up, Jack?
You're not sure?
No, I did that
but
once, but I haven't figured out how to stream to YouTube and TikTok at the same time, and then I lose all my viewers from YouTube because they won't go to the TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But I should figure that out. Obviously, these kids do it, so if they can do it, I can figure it out. God is good. That's a good one. Support the death penalty. I don't know enough about that, unfortunately. I could read the fathers on it and come back to that. But when we set up our own, it was pretty fun. I really should just like set up my own thing, and everyone can come in and try to do their best, you know. Mr. Trump is unfit for our nation's capital. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck Trump, fuck MAGA, and fuck you. I love an edgy cuck. Charlie Cuck. Let's see what these guys are up to. Nobody is talking. Completely muted.
Fuck off, Katie.
Don't know what they're on about. Political debate, best friend files, Epstein stuff. Epstein stuff is interesting. Maybe we can get into that.
It's like, okay, I'll take a pair of pandas. So they
What
do have the
color?
black pairs on sale, and you get an additional 25% off, by the way,
Yeah,
on
I did the
Nike
black and
tonight.
white ones for Tony.
That's what she wants.
Mhm.
Jay, did you tell her about
They're
your
the original.
Dazzle G string that you bought?
No, you
What is
purchased
going on?
that. I
This is
didn't
so
purchase that.
retarded. TikTok is such slop. What the hell? Nothing. What's this one?
Makes itself dry when it's actually the sun that makes it dry.
But it doesn't absorb the water. It resists the water.
What, sand?
What are they? They're talking about sand? They're talking about the beach? They're debating about the beach? Men are losers, part 2. That makes no sense. Israel-Palestine debate? Probably not something I'm interested in. What's this lady debating about? How much should a man spend on the first date? Should celibate/abstinence women be dating? I could probably join this one. Let's try to join that. Yo. Let's see if she accepts me. She might do. Sorry, I know it's echoing. I'll just do it like this. Come on, Kikyo, get me up there. Get me up there, Kikyo. Don't turn out the lights. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Kikyo. I'm interested in talking about that. The second prompt, should celibate / abstinent women be dating?
Yeah. And how do you feel about that?
I think all people should be abstinent or celibate until marriage. So yeah, I do think abstinent women should be dating. I mean, I guess I could ask like what you mean by dating, really.
You mean by
Well, actually, let me just ask: do you disagree with that? Like, do you think celibate / abstinent women should not be dating?
Oh no, I genuinely believe that they should be dating.
Oh, okay. But do you believe in abstinence as a important virtue, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we're probably just gonna really agree for the most part, so it won't be much of a debate. Well, I could ask you, where does that come from? Like a Christian worldview, or where do you derive that from?
I guess for me it derived from, because I was raised Catholic. I don't practice it anymore, but I was raised Catholic. But there are still some virtues that like I still carry that I just think is important.
Okay. So you deconverted or whatever it's deconstructed from Catholicism.
Yeah, basically.
And why'd you do that?
It just really wasn't something that I feel like because the way that I perceive the Bible is either you accept all of it or you accept none of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there was just some parts of it I really just couldn't accept. So, therefore, I just didn't accept it at all.
Okay, I got you. And so how did you decide like what to accept and what not to accept?
Just things that just didn't really like feel right towards like my moral compass and things like that. Just like, I don't know, this is things that just sound like aloof to me.
Okay.
You know, like some things like it could be backed up. Like for instance, like Noah's Ark, there was actually pieces of a shipwreck on top of like the tallest mountain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That could be traced back to that. So like, you know, some things make sense, but there's other things where I'm just like, I don't get that.
No, I get you. I'm a Christian myself. I'm not a Catholic, but I would say that it's kind of impossible for any individual to interpret the Bible entirely for themselves and kind of like pick and choose what's valuable and what's not. But that's why the church and the tradition exist, for us to actually have clarity and the correct interpretation of those things. Especially the harder things to accept. Does that make sense?
For us to actually have clarity
Really
and the correct interpretation of those things, especially the harder things to accept. Does that make sense?
Well,
is it really a correct interpretation? Because it's just another human being telling you their perspective on it. You get what I'm saying? It's just no one can have a clear interpretation. It's really how your relationship.
I got you, but you do. I mean,
you know what I mean?
For a Christian,
I respect. Yeah,
that's why
we actually do believe that there is divine revelation.
I got you, but
God
you do. I mean,
interpretations
for a Christian
to the church via the Holy
we actually
Spirit.
do believe
so that's how we would
that
respond to that. Like,
there is divine
revelation,
revelation and that God gives
one
interpretations
man or a few men
to the
or a
church
few people
via the Holy Spirit,
deciding things based on their own intuition. We see it as the Holy Spirit working through His church to ensure the actual, the validity of the message and the tradition and the way to worship.
Right, and I completely understand that. However, the way I believe this Holy Spirit works is that it comes through all of us. Therefore, I can have my own relationship with God and have my own type of interpretation, because that is my own journey. I don't have to go to a church to receive someone else's interpretation of what I'm receiving.
Sure, then I would just ask like how you know that your interpretation is the right one.
because I'm going based on the path that I see follows.
Okay, so it's kind of just like your.
I'm not resisting what's happening for me in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I think that's admirable. You don't want to resist sort of, the way, the flow, or you don't want to go against the flow, so to speak. I get that. But I'm just saying your problem with the church was that other people were interpreting the scripture based on their own opinions that you couldn't trust, and yet you're interpreting the scripture based on your own opinion. So how do you trust yours, essentially?
I mean, I trust my own best interest at heart. I know I have my own best interest at heart. I guess that's the best way for me to explain that.
Okay, fair enough. I personally, and I'm not saying anything against you, but personally, I don't trust that I have my own best interest at heart. That's why I rely on a church and a spiritual father and everything to tell me what's actually good. Like, for instance, like if I, loved drinking, like just getting drunk all the time, waking up in the morning and having a couple shots or whatever it is, that might feel like it was the best thing for me because it's fun or whatever it is. But obviously in the long term or on a spiritual level, that wouldn't be the best thing. So the church advises me not to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you would obviously know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just you being ignorant towards what the warning label even says. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's not like everyone just intakes cigarettes or intakes, the good happy cider that adults intake in just because, like, they don't, like, you know what I mean? The warning label is there. So it's not like you never knew that it had long-term harm effects towards you.
Mm-hmm.
You just chose not to.
Well, maybe that might be true with things like alcohol and cigarettes and stuff like that. Although, to be fair, I think there are plenty of people that it's not that obvious how destructive those things are, too. But maybe take something more nuanced, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on here, but prawn or corn, right? You could find a lot of, like, scientific studies. Oh, it's actually good to watch a little bit of corn for your marriage or whatever it is. You might find a therapist saying like that or something like that. But the church or the tradition is going to inform you the true nature of that, which is that it's not good and it's evil.
That corn is evil?
Yeah, I mean, or do you disagree? Do you disagree with that?
I mean, just to say something is just evil is kind of insane, especially when people do it after they're married.
I know. I think that's wrong, though. I don't think married men should be watching corn at all. I don't think any man should, actually, but or woman.
It's just a little redundant to say it's evil when you do the same sin later on. You get what? It's just it's redundant.
What's redundant? I'm not sure I understand why it's redundant.
Probably redundant is the wrong word. Sorry.
Or like I don't understand what sin do you do later on that is the same as corn if you never watch it or do it,
Corn is just smacks. That's
I see what you're saying. I see. But corn is
just smacks. So when later on in life you end up having smacks. It's just instead of watching people, you yourself is doing it yourself.
Right, but I think that is a significant difference, especially if you're married. Well, so again, like I think the ideal purpose for schmecks, its actual, use in the world is between two married people. So when you're watching corn, by definition, you're not married to either of the corn stars, actors, whatever you want to call them. So that would be schmecks misused. That would be the misuse of schmecks, which would be a sin. But to have schmecks within the proper godly, scenario between a man and a wife would not be a sin.
Right. So do you watch movies?
I do watch movies, yeah.
And there's smack scenes in movies, so do you just skip over that part?
Usually I do. I'm not like a prude where I'm like, if I'm sitting with a bunch of people or if I'm in the movie theater, I'm not going to put my hands over my eyes or leave or something like that. But I'm gonna try to not have a schmeck. I usually cringe when schmeck scenes come on in movies. I think a lot of people do. And you have that example of like you're watching with your parents on Christmas, and then that scene comes on, and everyone's like, "Ooh, it's awkward." And I'm like, well,
it's awkward because you're with your parents. If you're watching it by yourself, it's not really awkward. It's kind of like, okay.
Sometimes it is, especially how graphic. If it's really graphic, like if it's implied, I get it, because schmex is a part of life. And also, you don't have to identify with the characters in the film to watch it. Like, if I watch a film where people are like schmurdering or something, like I watch John Wick or something, I'm obviously not committing the sin of schmurder, no.
Right.
Right. So, but with corn, you are doing it for the sexual purpose, schmexual purpose, unless there's some other reason, like people watch it for entertainment or something. But I haven't known anyone to do that.
I mean, truly, genuinely, and I'm gonna be very honest, and it's not even like, you're just saying that type of thing. I've never got like, sexual excitement from watching corn. It was just kind of like, okay, I can watch this.
Okay. All right. You did it for educational purposes?
No, not even educational purposes. It was just kind of like the first time I came across it, I guess it was educational purposes. I was kind of like, what is this thing that people keep talking about? And then I see it and I'm like, oh, all right.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that might be, a feminine reaction to corn. That would kind of make sense to me. But I think men, for the most part, are watching it for a different reason. I mean, maybe. Okay. Obviously, there are women that abuse it as well, or do it for a sexual, schmexual purpose. But I don't know. Yeah, it's so you'd think that corn is sort of neutral or good, or
I think it's just neutral. Genuinely, I just think it's neutral. The only reason why I think it's neutral is just because it's not. You choose to watch it or not. You get what I'm saying? It's not like it's something that's in your face. It's not. You get what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. It's just there.
Yeah, it's certainly there. It's certainly there.
But like the reason why I say it's just there because it's like if you watch it often enough, then it could be considered evil because you're abusing it. Well, DVing it, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But versus if you once in a blue or like kind of like how I did, just saw it the one time and then kind of just kept it pushing.
Yeah.
It's not really a factor.
No, I get that. I think like you weren't doing anything evil when you stumbled across it and all that stuff, but the production of it itself, like the industry of it, is like problematic for sure. So I'd be in favor of it being completely a bit like banned or something like that. Is that something you would be in favor of or no?
I would be in favor of it. However, I'm also a realistic person. 304s is the oldest job that's been on human history.
Yep.
So it's kind of like it's going to be really hard to get rid of like the oldest job in the book.
I completely agree, and it probably won't be gotten rid of until the second coming, right? But that doesn't mean we shouldn't oppose like bad things until then, in whatever way we can.
I'm not saying like, oh yeah, because I can't stop it, like I'm gonna go ahead and join them. Like no.
Right,
I'm just saying like it's still bad, but ain't nothing to be done. It's the oldest. Like I'm just being realistic. Like I can understand it's something that's happening. It's gonna keep happening, and whatever. It's not part of my culture. I'm not around it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I appreciate that. In terms of the first half, how much should a man spend on a first date? I think it doesn't really matter in like a technical way, but I think if a man is taking a woman on a date, he should try to impress her. He should try to display that he can provide and that he is interested in her, happiness and comfort. So I think a man should spend. I think he should pay for dinner. I think he should pay for whatever it is, just as a advice for good dating. Not that there's like a moral.
So I'd say, it should be like a moderate range. Like $50 to $100.
Sure. Yeah.
Just so that way, one, you're not stressing your financial pockets, and then also in case things don't go right or whatever, you're not really missing out on much. Like $50 to $100 is something you probably could have spent on yourself. Like, let's be honest.
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
It's not that big of a deal. So, but the whole thing, like, reason why I also came up with this question though is because there has been men on this TikTok that has been saying that they would take women to parks, walk down a park and go to the zoo, because it's free and all that, because they're broke, and it's just that's piss poor, like, you should just get yourself together before trying to date someone. So.
Yeah, and I would generally agree with that. I think the only purpose of dating is for marriage. So if you have, if your life is completely like, if you're so broke you can't even go to a, pay for your potential wife's dinner or something like that, then maybe figure out your own house before you start trying to make it bigger. You know what I mean? So I would generally agree with that. That sort of like broke, kind of valueless men should probably build up their own esteem before they go out and try to find a woman that they're going to have to take care of.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think we mostly agree. Well, I appreciate you, Kikyo. I think we agree on most points. This is a nice TikTok you got going on here. God bless
Thank you. I think that's really the problem. I think a lot of people agree with me, so I can't get into debate with
you should see some of the panels I was just on. Seriously. People are not so agreeable on this app, but yeah, I think when they see, these topics are kind of, they're easy to agree with, to be honest. I mean, you could probably be a little more, I don't know, adversarial, but I'm not saying you should. I don't think it's good to be adversarial, so there you go.
So, hold on, because I do have other prompts.
Okay.
Let's see. This one.
Okay, is it fair that men are often expected to be the primary financial providers and the emotional rock, while women are praised for just being themselves? Oh yeah, I don't think that's fair at all. So let me break that down. I think it is fair that men are expected to be the primary financial providers, and maybe probably the emotional rock as well. But that also requires women to provide for the family in the way that they do, as in being good caretakers, caregivers. If it's a situation where you've got like 6 kids and in this economy especially, one income isn't going to cover it. It makes sense for the woman to pick up a job or do something that isn't going to put the kids at risk or risk of neglect or something like that. But again, I could see a lot more people disagreeing with this one, where people, men, this and that. I don't know. What do people usually say to this?
I don't know. I just made these prompts like yesterday,
Oh,
so
sweet.
I'm just putting them into use.
Yeah.
So these are some that I just have in my pocket, so I'm going to show you.
That's great. That's great. Do you think women are praised for just being themselves, and you think that's a bad thing?
I definitely think girls are just praised for being just themselves. Do I think it's a bad thing? No. Men and women are not the same.
Right.
We are not the same. We are meant to be like little girls for the rest of our lives. Like, guys love the little, yes, you guys like her to be smart, but you also like her to be a little helpless, a little being.
Oh yeah, definitely,
I mean?
Of course.
So it's like, yeah, I'm just a girl.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I do the heavy lifting.
No, I agree. That's a great take. Okay, so do some women intentionally put in minimal effort in dating, knowing that many men will still pursue them, creating an uneven dynamic? Yeah, I mean, but in dating, I think the dynamic is uneven just by necessity, by just how it is. Like, what men value about women is, I think, physical attraction on the front of it, and then if they're slightly deeper, then an ability to care for a family. But what women value about men seems to be more like status, wealth, maybe even the ability to make them laugh or something like that. So the upfront demand of men is a deeper thing than the upfront demand of women, it seems like.
Yeah, I feel like the upfront demand of women is more on a biological scale, versus for men it's kind of like hey, you want a wife? Give me a house for you to have the wife in. You
Right.
want a legacy? Give me a business to give you a legacy for.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to just give birth to your children if you don't have anything for your children to have.
Right. I think that's a wise.
Women are just natural multipliers. If you have 0, I can't multiply 0 with nothing.
Right. Right.
It still
Yeah.
comes out to 0.
0 times anything is 0, huh?
Exactly. So
I
it's
agree with
just,
that.
unfortunately, we have built-in value within ourselves, whereas men have to build their value in life.
Yeah. Well, I'd say you'd be an excellent Orthodox Christian, I think. You got some very traditional views here.
I'm a traditional person. I come from a traditional household. Like, I do come from a 2-parent household. I don't fit a lot of the statistics. I'm not a baby mother. I still, believe in marriage before marry before I carry.
Yep,
So
yep.
it's just like, it's an unfortunate society we're living in right now.
It is.
I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out strong.
Fight the good fight. Fight the good fight.
Yeah,
hold the line.
Fight the good fight.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, I think in terms of your deconversion from Catholicism, I don't blame you. I think Catholicism is deeply flawed in a lot of ways. But I wouldn't throw out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. I mean, it's clear that you love God. I don't know if you love Jesus or not, but
no, yeah, I still pray and like all the good things. I just don't claim the religion.
Yeah, but I would wonder why not then. I mean, I understand why you wouldn't claim Catholicism, but why not claim like Christianity more broadly, or even, what I think is true Christianity, which is Orthodoxy.
I've been to like different churches. Honestly, my ex-fiance was a Christian. I went to his church. Did not like whatever they was preaching. I was just like, what?
The
is happening?
Protestant church. Yeah.
And then I went to a Baptist church because my father was raised Baptist. So I went to his church, and I was just like, okay, this is a nice vibe, but I'm not really feeling him here. If I don't feel him there, I'm not staying.
Completely agree. That's what got me out of the Episcopal church that I was going to. Didn't really feel it. The priest was not very strong on the theology at all. Like, people would say, like, oh, I don't believe in Jesus, but I'm a Christian. And the priest would be like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, what? What you talking about? So then I went to an Orthodox church, and he was just, the Spirit and Christ just filled the whole space with overwhelming beauty. That's what kind of got me in there. And then the history is really interesting and important. I believe Christ did set up a real church on this earth that he said would last until the end of time, and so far it's still here. I would recommend looking into it if you have that interest in following Christ in a more like tangible way. Does financial provision cancel out the active participation in the home? And what do you mean by that? Like, if the man makes a lot of money, does he not have to be a good father? Is that the point of that?
I guess the point of it is, like, if he's taking care of everything, like bills, all of it, making so much money, all you have to do is be within the home. The home is your job, is your priority.
Oh, yeah.
You do not have to have any part of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this is for the woman, like, the active participation is for the woman, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically, it's for the woman. Like, I feel like the only, like, of course, you should be an active participant towards your kids. I would never
right.
support not being a part of your kid's life as a father.
Right. Yeah, obviously, that's a problem.
No, that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
So, like, but I'm saying as far as, like, within household duties, no, I do not believe the man has to be an active participant if he's literally taking care of everything and she doesn't have to even lift a finger besides do whatever is in the household.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I would agree. I think, the man should, throw the ball with his kid and teach them how to be a good man or a good person in society or whatever. But in general, the household duties do fall on the woman for good reason. You guys are better at that than we are. It's like, it's your nature. That
and
makes
then, like,
sense.
my whole thing is, the way I see it is just like, if the man is out there making all the money and everything, he's in a whole bunch of people's faces, dealing with a whole bunch of personalities, dealing with all these people being in his face about stuff about work. When he comes home, he wants to come home to a peaceful home. He does not want to come home to, like, okay, he has to go mop now. He has to go do the dishes. He has to go do it. He don't want to do all that. He was working all day. What he should come home to is like, okay, babe, dinner's on the table for you. Kids already fed. They put asleep. You know, you can go ahead and, like, you know, watch a game or play your game or whatever. I'll do whatever I need. You call me if you need me.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like, it's just simple. Like, I like, and the reason why I say it's just simple because men say it all the time. We're just simple, and me having a 2-parent household, I can see how it was just simple.
Yep.
My dad does not want to hear nothing when he comes home from work.
Yep.
He just want to go take a shower,
Yep.
go ahead and, like, eat his food, watch his TV a little bit. Once he's done and he's like good within himself, then he's gonna go ahead and interact with the family on his own.
Yep, exactly. Especially, if the family, especially if the family's not giving him a bunch of problems, you know, like the mom. Yeah, it makes him want to interact with them more. Yeah, totally. Well, I completely agree. Well, it was very nice to talk to you, Kiki. I think I had to find someone that I actually disagree with on pretty much any point, but it was nice to talk to you. Appreciate you.
It was great talking. I think I have one more.
Okay, yeah, so throw it up.
Let's see.
If women demand a minimum height, should men demand a minimum weight? Yeah, or a maximum weight, really. I mean, a minimum weight would be, yeah, I mean, you can't be 12 pounds. That would make you a child or something, but, but yeah, if women demand a minimum height, should men demand, I think it's fair for people to demand from their, not demand, but expect whatever they expect from their partner. Like, if a woman's like, I'm not going to date a guy that's shorter than me, that makes sense to me. And, you know, I'm sorry, short kings out there, whatever, but that's just how it is. You have to be attracted to the person that you're going to, you know, marry or spend your life with or something. And same with men, like, you know, sorry, ladies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we are physical beings. We're physically attracted, and being super overweight, I'm not saying a little bit of something here and there is a problem, but if you're super overweight, that's indicative of a deeper spiritual issue of gluttony, really, which is even a bigger problem than the actual weight itself. So, yeah, makes sense to me.
So do you think 600-pound life is about of people who got consumed by gluttony?
Yeah, no, 600. I watched 600-pound life is corn to me. No, I'm kidding. No. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they've been consumed by gluttony. That's their only. And usually there's, you know, gluttony comes with a bunch of other stuff, pride, and I'm sure I could think of a few other things, but yeah.
So how do you feel about Weird Addiction then, that show?
Yeah, I think that's total. Those people are possessed by a demon of some sort. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna eat my car or something. Like, yeah, that's really angelic of you. Yeah, to eat your car one by one, or to, like, be obsessed with eating plaster, whatever. Oh yeah, super holy, dude. Really holy of you to eat a bunch of plaster. That's definitely something the devil would tell you to do. But yeah. No, I completely agree. I think most people's problems are spiritual at the end of the day. Pretty much all people's problems are spiritual. And then they have physical manifestations. And that's what this is. That's what the gluttony manifests in being 600 pounds. But it starts with the gluttony.
I genuinely appreciate talking to you.
Yeah,
Thank
me
you so
too. Me too. Keep it up. Keep it up, Kikyo. Much love. God bless you.
much love. God bless.
Thanks. Well, Kikyo was fun. I should have asked her out on a date. She'd probably be a good wife. Alright, let's see if there's anyone I disagree with. Then we can kind of wrap it up. We've been going for a little while. Not too long, but maybe we can do some YouTube stuff. If guns kill people, pencils misspell. Cars drive drunk, spoons make people fat or something. What's going on in this one?
what if your kids, you
Ooh,
know,
I'm fucking terrified.
like that's
Oh,
not funny. Like, can you
whoa.
just be mature for a little bit? Like, I'm trying to be serious right now because you have a wife and children. Like, you
I
just have
know,
to
I'm
be careful.
terrified.
I don't like you, E92, but you really should not have your address in your bio.
I don't
or
give a
anything.
fuck. I don't like you either.
You
You can
bro,
get on
you
your
have
knees in front of me.
children.
Cool.
You can gargle my fucking boneless kids, bitch.
What?
Boneless kids?
That's
What?
creative. You got to give him credit for that one. That's creative.
Boneless kids?
What?
You had a boneless kid?
Why would you
talking
say
he's
that?
he's not even, he's not talking about a kid. He's talking about something else.
I know he's talking about something else, but it was dumb.
I don't
This
know.
guy's too stupid to realize what I'm talking about, truth.
You guys start rage baiting each other like
Okay, fine, I'll say it. I don't want you to get swatted.
me neither. Like,
Yeah. Oh my god. Don't turn out the light.
Like, what's the point of me going? What's the point of me going to apostolic succession if I can't even?
No.
If we can't even agree Jesus Christ existed.
To be clear, I never said one way or another how I feel about with what, if Jesus existed or not. I asked him why he believed in Jesus.
Oh, you like that
and he
one,
said-
Zach? We can go back to that one. That was a fun one. Gargle my boneless kids or whatever. Wait, let's go back to that. We'll do that for a sec.
Get removed off of a predator list, right, or a sexual offenders list, or whatever you want to look, however you want to call it. It actually you review, like I stated.
E92, all you have to be in America is a rich white man to be able to solve that problem in a few weeks.
Also, didn't this
let's
guy
just be
say
real.
that you never
So
get
now
off
it's
that
now it's a
list?
race thing. Now it's a
Oh no,
race
you can
thing.
be any race, but it's just typically white men are favored when it comes
E92
to
literally said you never get off that
Now
list.
it's a race thing.
Nah, I wouldn't say it's a race thing because Diddy
What are
is
these
black,
people talking about?
and he also got away with the system. So I feel like it typically, if we're just gonna be
I
real,
would say, I
wouldn't.
feel like sometimes whites is worse than something, and then blacks are worse than
Right.
others. So it's kind of
Right, yeah, it's not really, yeah. I wouldn't say it's typically a race thing, but it's like you don't see commonly black men getting away with things like this because they are discriminated a lot by the law. But I would say it typically, I'm not no feminist, but it typically is kind of a man thing to get away with it easier, especially if you have money because you're well respected.
Hold on, how can you answer me a question? How are black men
Did we lose them?
Kind of
how did you state that black men
times, so not all the time, like I said, because we have people like Diddy, OJ Simpson. Sometimes when it comes to black men trying to,
state that
black men trying to discriminate against people of color just because of their color. So
I get that part, but you said something else about the black.
It keeps lagging or whatever. I don't even understand what they're talking about. I don't think we can do that one. White privilege does exist. Prove me wrong. Could I prove that wrong? I don't think I could. What's this one about?
The 80s TV show theme song.
Yeah, it's about movies.
Okay.
We gotta get Robin on this one. Give us all the all the fringe movie takes. Rob should do a movie TikTok live or something. Why not, right? Abortion debates, okay. I think I've debated these people
How
before.
could you be involuntarily celibate, can't get coochie, because you're fat and ugly and play Fortnite all day and are broke?
Hostile towards women, not hate women. They have views that are like, women are less than, women should be in the kitchen barefoot, that kind of thing.
It's not related to an incel. That's just a misogynist.
Okay, I'm not going to discuss what they consider to be hostile because again,
I think the definitions are just wrong.
It's not
you can
who
do your own
decides
Google. I
it,
just
it's what
read the definition.
is. You can't argue the definition.
Yeah, I just read the definition. That's all I've done.
You just
And
said
I
you made
admitted
it-
that
you
I
made
was
an
wrong
example
because
that
I
was wrong.
Googled it. Wait, what? I'm sorry.
You made an example that was wrong. You mentioned that something about men mentioning women should be in the kitchen. That's not an incel thing.
Oh,
It's a misogynist thing.
no, that maybe not specific. I was just trying to give an example of what.
But here's the thing: is
things that
why are
hostile
traditional
towards women would be.
called?
Not their specific. I was just trying to give an example of hostile towards women.
But why does it need to be hostility towards women when that has nothing to do with the word incel, involuntarily celibate?
I did, again, for the third time, please, hopefully the last. I did say it says typically associated, so I was wrong in saying it always is. But again, Lemons has said this is her live, her prompt, and that's her definition.
I mean,
so
I can
don't know
join.
why
Just
we are
because it's
still
her
discussing
definition
that.
doesn't mean it's the definition.
I didn't. I don't know why you're arguing that. I didn't say it was the definition. In fact, I looked up the definition.
Because saying like it's her definition is just like completely an asinine statement.
Okay.
It's like redefining racism.
Wait, it's self-proclaimed, isn't it?
No,
Why isn't it?
because the word has a definition. Just like if I say a car, right? You know what a car is, right? A car is something that you drive
be an
that has
incel
four wheels that you.
You could be a simp and an incel at the same time.
Wait, so the actual definition, if you go Google it right now,
I
it is
requested
going to
this
say
one.
like hostile.
I'm just gonna
or,
ignore the
like,
whole incel
resentment
element of
towards
this. I think
women.
that's dumb as hell.
That's what I'm getting picked apart for. Is reading the definition.
But
It's
I'm just
self-proclaimed.
gonna present the pro-life argument and then
Is that what you're
basically
saying?
state it has nothing to do with whether you're celibate or incelibate or something like that.
I
But
guess. What's a simp? Just somebody who like
The person who idolizes
pays
women.
to get their like
That's what I
balls
would
stepped
say.
on. What?
A simp is sucker idolizing mediocre. Yes.
they're defining simp. I love it.
Look, incel does not include misogyny. Okay, it doesn't include that.
Okay,
Yeah, you're just like adding that in there.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, look it up then.
I just
What-
gave you
what
the
dic-
definition
what
of
dictionary are you
a
using?
perfect. I just gave you the definition of a perfect incel: a fat 20-year-old that
Yeah,
plays
go ahead and
Fortnite
just give
every
me
single day.
what
That's
dictionary. What dictionary or what are you using to define this? Because you're saying there's
it's
objective
literally just-
definition.
I'm using
so-
reality.
So you're
It's
saying
a
there's
term that
objective
literally means
definitions, and then you're saying that you're
involuntarily-
going to just use your own definitions. Wild.
Look, the word literally means involuntarily celibate. That's all it is. There's nothing else to bring in.
Yeah, Google it
you
then.
know.
Google it then. Because
Google's not daddy.
you're just using your own definition and then trying to
That's
say
what
that
the
I'm
word
using mine.
means, bro. Are you out of your mind?
Alright, well,
how you shit
Google
on him
disagrees
for
with
when you're
you.
doing the same fucking thing.
Google
This
just
is so
disagrees.
stupid. They're debating the definition
What
of
does it mean to
incel
be celibate?
because the
How about this
prompt
one?
is
What's it
completely
mean to be
retarded.
celibate?
Not sexually active.
Okay, what's something that's involuntary? What does that mean?
Against your will.
Okay, now put the two terms in a sentence. Against your will, so that means you are not sexually active, even though you want to be. That's all it means.
False.
Involuntarily.
What do you mean, bro? You can't
Yeah,
argue
kid
with
is screaming.
you can't argue with stupid people, man. You really can't. Honestly. I've heard that for the
You know what's
longest
funny? I
time.
heard this phrase. Yeah, I heard this phrase that goes like, if you're...
Wait, it goes if you're what?
I heard that if you're arguing with a stupid person, that means there's two stupid people arguing.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
'Cause-
It's like, dude, this is craziness.
Yeah.
You give the definition, and then the next thing I hear is, no, that's not true. What the fuck? Like, dude, are we fucking for real?
Yeah, what type of authority are you pleading to that this is the correct definition?
It's
you
in the
sound silly.
fucking word, dude. Incel means involuntarily celibate.
And you still just can't grasp it. It's like, you don't have fingers. You don't have fingers.
This is what you did. You just said a peanut is a pea and a nut. Does anyone agree with this? Does anyone think that peanuts are the nuts of peas? Yeah, so does anyone here think that peanuts are going to be like peas and nuts?
You
Like
literally agreed.
between, like,
You literally
peas and
agreed
nuts.
with him. You agreed with him and came up with the definitions and terms yourself. And then as soon as he put it
What
together,
are you
you're just
talking
like, no,
about?
I don't agree with it.
Terms yourself. The definition that he gave is something that he made up.
And he's like, well, it's just going to be true because it, like, incel comes from being involuntary and celibate. Right? But this doesn't actually mean that there's, like, a hatred for women.
Can I present a different argument?
Yeah, this guy. Yo, nigga, my dick is long as fuck, nigga. My dick is long as fuck.
That's what I was gonna say. No, I'm kidding. So I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't think pro-life is for incels. I think pro-life is for anybody that has common sense.
Oh, well, that's just false, too.
Okay, do you want me to break it down?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I basically, it all comes down to our moral paradigms, but I think most people's moral paradigms include that if anything is wrong, then schmurder is wrong. And obviously abortions are schmurder. And so where do you disagree with me on that?
Oh, yeah, abortions aren't smarter. Go ahead and give the argument for that.
Okay, because to schmurder is to take the life of an innocent person, and that's exactly what an abortion is.
Okay, so then pulling the plug on brain dead people is murder and is wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you agree?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, all right, let's just talk about what innocence is then.
Okay, go for it. I would say innocent and guilty are a true dichotomy, so anyone who is not guilty is innocent.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, all right, so do you know what Tourette's is?
Yes, well aware.
Okay, you're at a grocery store, someone with Tourette's has an episode, and they, like, backhand you. Are they innocent or guilty?
They're innocent.
Yeah, I'd say they're innocent. If they had no control over whether they hit me or not, yeah, they're innocent.
Okay, all right, this is the next hypothetical.
Gotcha.
You share apartment with your roommate, with your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
One night he starts sleepwalking. It's the first time this ever happened. And in his sleep, he walks into your room, and, like, accidentally, I don't know, like, knocks over your TV or something. Was he innocent or guilty?
I'd say he's innocent. I wouldn't blame him for that. I'd probably lock my door from then on, but...
What if he, like, starts strangling you or something? Is he innocent or guilty?
Get the fuck out of him and tell him to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I'd wake him up and say, what the hell are you doing? And he'd be like, what? Where am I? He's innocent.
Okay, yeah, so what if the only way to stop him from strangling you was to unalive him?
What does that have to do with
one, that's a complete non sequitur, but I can answer the question. I mean, if the only way I could stop him from schmurdering me is to schmurder him, then again, we would both be innocent, but that would be the necessary outcome.
Well, then it would be okay in this instance to murder someone, correct? Because murder is just defined by taking the life of an innocent person, and in this situation, you said it is okay to take the life of an innocent person. Therefore, under your own semantics, murder is okay?
So you admit that this is a semantic argument?
Yes.
Okay, so it's meaningless. I mean, it's not normative.
Under your own semantics, right? So then you just have to define it better, because under your own semantics, you're just saying that, like, this would also be considered murder, and that it's okay.
Well, I didn't think I actually said it would be, maybe I didn't mean that it was murder, but self-defense is obviously different than a mother's relationship to her child in a womb. I mean, you see the difference, right?
So, abortion isn't murder to you?
No, abortion is murder to me, yeah.
Absolutely, but why, to her, the host, why is it not murder to you?
That's just shifting the burden.
No, I mean, you're making a positive point.
I'm kind of late to this conversation, but I want to know why it's not murder to you. What makes you think that it's not? Because if a person kills a woman that's pregnant, he gets 2 murder charges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as he should.
Okay, so you admit that it's murder.
No.
Why is it not?
Yeah, how is it not?
Yeah, because there's, like, no reason for this person to unalive these 2 people. I think that the mother getting the abortion would be justified, but this is just going to be a burden shift.
Do you believe there should be a heartbeat?
No.
Wait, why
like
are you asking
if the
her
baby
question?
has a heartbeat, is it not
I don't know.
murder then?
It's just dodging.
Hey, Pumpkin. Sweetheart and Pumpkin. Have either of you been introduced, the bottom 2 people?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Tell me your ages.
I'm 26. My name is Reese.
Thank you, Reese. Wayne, how old are you?
Awesome. Sal, how old are you?
Oh, yo, I didn't mean to click that. My bad.
That's okay. Bye. Okay, thank you. I just wanted that before you like popped off like this. But you're doing a lot of questioning for someone who is supposed to be having their view investigated. So like she was asking you questions and you started responding with questions.
Okay, so when you take the life of a baby inside the womb, it is murder, because at the moment of conception, when the male juice and the female's egg combine together, there is scientific proof that there is a flash of light that emanates from them.
Yeah, that's just zinc. That's a zinc reaction.
Okay, that's still
that's okay. It's a zinc reaction. You can observe that anywhere, and it doesn't involve conception. So I understand though. I understand that you're about to tell me that it's like human and it's alive, and I agree.
It is human and it is alive, so that equates to murder.
No. Is that what you think murder is? Just unaliving a human?
Yeah, if you take the life of another human willingly and accepting that you're taking a life, that is murder. And that is what a woman does when she does that.
Especially an innocent human. Especially an innocent.
Yes. So earlier, the host said that if someone is brain dead, you would consider it to be murder, or like not murder, but like if you pulled the plug on them, you would make it murder, right?
Hey, say murder.
I said that. I said that, but again, exceptions don't prove the rule. Even if there is some weird, like you can present some hypothetical where there's an exception to the normative rule that to take the life of an innocent human being is murder. The rule is still that to take the life of an innocent human being is murder. Now, if there are exceptions, that doesn't disprove the rule.
I agree that
well, no, it does. It shows that your principle is not absolute, is what it does. It shows that there are exceptions, and that this isn't going to be the determining factor.
Well, when you abort, you're taking, for one, an innocent life that can't do anything, and hasn't lived any life, and is not living outside the womb on their own free will, trying to breathe on their own, eating on their own.
This is just a special plea. You don't have to go any further. It's already fallacious.
I don't know that he knows what fallacious means.
I'm sorry, I'm just a hick from the south. I don't know what that means.
Well, she's not crying. She's just singing. I don't know if you have a problem with children singing, but she's not like crying.
So you have a kid. Could you imagine murdering them?
Oh my god.
Well, you're just begging the question.
What question is he begging?
It's not murder.
It is. You're taking someone's life.
Yeah, this is just begging the question again.
You need to like again. Your so far your definitions haven't lined up to like what you think is wrong.
Could you explain which definition? Sorry, I'm just getting confused and lost. Which definitions do you have a problem with that we're using?
I mean, so far I haven't heard one that like actually.
Well, you guys are defining murder in a weird way, which means that like, well, the way that Wayne defined it, even self-defense is going to be murder, because he's just saying that anytime a human is killed, it's murder.
No.
Yeah, that was your exact definition, was unaliving a human.
Okay, look, if somebody...
That was just a bad definition.
Okay, listen. If somebody comes to my house tonight and tries to take my life, I have a full right to defend myself at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And if defending myself means I have to take their life to save my own, that is not murder. That is self-defense.
See, there's another example of where your definition is wrong.
Wait, what are rights and where did they come from?
God.
What are rights? God gave me my human rights.
Why not?
Okay, well, my God says it's okay to have an abortion.
Yeah, but you worship a false god, so.
Why is your God real and mine was fake?
Okay, good. Do you want to do the moral argument?
No, not really.
Okay, so it wasn't a...
Can you give secular reasonings and not push your religion?
How could a Christian possibly give a secular reason as the source of his morality when morality comes from God?
Yep, I agree with you, bud.
Actually, if you want to be the first person to ever prove that secular morality even exists in an objective way, then we'd be really interested to hear that.
Yeah, you want to talk about this guy in the comments that says the Bible gives a recipe for abortion?
There's no chance.
Please, you in the comments, please give me that recipe.
Yeah, what verse is that, brother?
Everybody. It's just Numbers 5:11. There we go. They have to talk about like the powder from like the floor or whatever.
Numbers 5:11.
Yeah, it's Numbers 5:11.
Okay, I'm going there right now.
Alright. It just talks about how that if a woman cheats, the husband can take it to a priest, and he gives her this like water mixed with dirt from the tavern floor that's supposed to have some type of like bacteria in it that causes like miscarriages.
Okay, I'm not really great with the Bible. You know, I'm not the best Christian, but isn't Numbers in the Old Testament?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so isn't the Old Testament completely different from the New Testament? In the Old Testament, they did do human sacrifices. God almost made Abraham go up on the mountain and take his own son's life.
You're the one making voting decisions based on your religion. You probably should know if it is and how it is.
Do you guys know that like, the first?
It's okay. I just don't use that as your argument. Sorry.
I can use it as my argument.
But you guys realize that asking for a Christian to keep God out of their morality is exactly like quoting a Bible verse to an atheist. Like, it means nothing.
Well, we're not asking you to keep like God out of your morality, right? It's just like in an abortion debate, if you just say, well, I'm pro-life because God said so, well, then it's either going to go in two different directions. One, we're no longer debating abortion, we're now debating theism, right? And if God is real or not, or like what God is real or not, right?
Well, we can debate the possibility of objective morality.
I don't even remember. Or
why is abortion okay to you?
That's just a burning shift.
Well, but are you not gonna? You're gonna dodge it, or?
All right. Let's see. What stance do I want to run? I've been working on this one. It's a little new, so bear with me. I just hold a position that like morality doesn't exist, and that you just have a hard time regulating your feelings, and when things make you sad, you just associate them with being bad. But actually, right and wrong and good and bad are just concepts that are completely made up.
Okay, so then all things which we normatively consider to be right or wrong are actually not right or wrong.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so then you support genocide, Holocaust, all the rest.
No, this doesn't follow.
Yes, it does.
No, just because it's wrong doesn't mean that you should do it. Right, just because it's wrong doesn't mean that you should be allowed to do it, because I don't believe in right or wrong. What I do believe in is control and order. So I think that, yes, I think that what you should be forced to do, right, is just going to be what's best for the majority. So
wait, sorry. Best implies good. So you already said that doesn't exist.
Yeah, so it's just going to be orderly. So by best, I just said orderly. So when I say what's best for society, I just mean orderly.
So whatever orders society the most is what?
Yeah, I would just take a stance that we should just do whatever is like the best way to control people. So 24-hour enslavement.
Yeah, like you mean like Nazi Germany?
Yeah, but this would just be unaliving them, not controlling them. So we wouldn't want to unalive people. You can't control dead people, and I want maximum control.
Well, okay, if you want maximum control, then you'd want there to be more alive people. Therefore, you should be against abortion if you want to control the most number of people.
Let me ask you.
I'm not against abortion because I just don't think that like abortion's morally bad, right? Because in this stance, I would say that morals don't exist.
No, but from your perspective, it is because there are fewer people for you to control.
Well, no, that doesn't have to be the
That's what you just said.
Well, just having fewer people to control doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be good or bad, right? It's not about the amount of people that's being controlled. It's about the amount of control. I think that's where you're confused.
Okay, so your morality, the basis for your morality is what will allow you or someone else to control.
No, morality doesn't exist.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the reason that abortion should be acceptable, or any what we usually see as a moral claim should be either accepted or rejected, is based on how much it allows you to control others. Is that basically?
Yeah. So
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so that's the stance that I'm taking. So I don't know why you're laughing. You haven't like defeated
Because
me.
it's silly. I mean, it's obviously silly. I think if you concede that, then there's no reason you shouldn't be like a schnazi or any other.
Yeah, so laws should be about what's like control, right? So I don't see how like forcing women to get up like to sustain pregnancy is like orderly, right? Or women getting abortions doesn't seem to be like disorderly. This doesn't seem to be like violent crimes or...
Yeah, but if everybody got abortions, then there would be no people to control.
Yeah, exactly.
Standard.
Hey, you can do the deed without getting pregnant. There's ways around that.
Yeah.
And when you do the deed, you know what could be possible with it.
Yeah.
Getting pregnant.
And a rapper's a lot cheaper than an abortion.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Abstinence is even cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not as fun.
Okay, guys. Unfortunately, I do have to go, but I appreciate you. I mean, I think we made our points pretty clear here. Thank you. Appreciate you. See you guys soon. Yeah. All right. I didn't realize it was already 6 p.m. I have to be somewhere at 6:15, and I'm already going to be late. So, yeah, I mean, that was just insane. This is TikTok. TikTok in a nutshell. That's going to be a great clip. Abortion is right because it lets me control the most number of people. Literal schnazi. Why am I still saying schnazi? We're off of TikTok. Literal Hitler Nazi logic. So, if you need any more proof that these people are insane for supporting it, then there you go. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. I'll be back Wednesday, most definitely. Maybe even sneak one in tomorrow. And we'll catch you on the flip. Keep an eye out for videos and clips that are coming out because there's some real good videos I've been posting. Make sure you check those out. We got some crazy, like the TikTok debates are prime for these videos of getting basically usually like liberal atheists to concede to horrific conditions.